Okay, hello everybody and welcome to another PHP and HTML web development tutorial with Hirsh Agarwal. And so today we're going to be sort of starting a new project since I just so happen to not know where I saved the last one. But that's okay. So today we'll be looking at how to create a nice looking index form. So as you can see, they've actually released a new version of Sublime Text 2, and you should go download that. And if you don't know what that is, you should watch the first tutorial, and I'll put a link in the description. So, assuming you have everything, including XAMPP installed, what you want to do first is open up Sublime Text, and we're just going to create a new document, and let's just save it as home.html. And I actually have a lot of stuff, so I'm going to make a tutorial. You can put this in its own folder. You can kind of save this wherever you want. So actually I'm just going to name it index.html. Now if you name a file index.html, basically what that means is that it's going to be the default page whenever you visit the site. So now if we go to localhost slash I think I named it tutorial equal enter. Okay, and so that's bringing us to index.html, and we can test that basically by keeping this on localhost slash tutorial, and let's just put something in. So let's make an HTML tag, and let's just set the title of the page, and so let's just say welcome. Oh my gosh, I can't type. Okay. Let's save this, let's refresh this, and as you can see it changed the title. So, in this tutorial we're going to try to design a nice looking login screen for our application that we will be working on. So the first thing that you want to do after you set the title is, we're probably going to want to create a couple text boxes for the login. So let's just create a new form, action equals, let's leave that blank for now, and then method equals post. And then go back here. Okay, so basically, I don't remember if I explained this already, but this basically just sets the action whenever you press the button that we're going to create, and whatever you put in here is where it will redirect it. And then the method will allow us to access the data from the PHP form. And I'll show that to you soon. So let's create two text boxes. So let's do input type equals text and name equals user, and let's just create another one for your password. So input type equals password actually, and the name equals pass. Okay, so let's just save this and refresh the page, and as you can see we've got our two text boxes. Now I'd like them so that one of them's under the other, so, and I know I've already sort of covered this, but I'm just going over it again. So we're just going to add a break line, and here we go. And let's just add a quick div tag to align everything. Div align equals right, yeah. And let's just close that. Div. Wow. I really cannot type that. And dash div. Okay. So let's save that, and there we go. So everything's on the right, and let's just quickly create a button. So we're just going to do input type equals submit, and value equals login. Okay, so basically that should give us a nice looking button here, and when we click it, as you can see, nothing happens yet. And actually, let's just put that inside our div tag so that it's also underneath the text boxes. So let's do div there. And so as you can see here, it says this is an unregistered copy of Sublime Text. In case you haven't seen the other video, Sublime Text is still in beta, so you can't get an actual registered copy. So just in case you're wondering. Yeah. Okay, so now we have this nice looking page. So now what we probably want to do is set it so that whenever you do this it redirects, and you already know how to do this if you watch the other tutorials. but we're just going to create a connect.php file, and let's where is it? Okay, action connect.php. Okay, so that's pretty good. So now it should connect. Now in connect.php, what we are going to need to do is, hold on 1 second. Okay, so in connect.php, we're going to start the PHP tags. Let's just save this. Actually, let's just make sure that it's working first. So we just hit login. Okay, there we go. So it went to connect.php. That's good. Okay, so first we just need to get these variables. So what we want to do is we want to type in, let's create a new variable. Input user is going to equal post. Oh my gosh. Post. And then let's just check to see what we named this. User. And then remember your semicolons. Input user equals underscore post pass, I think. And we'll just check that, and yes, it is pass. Okay, so now we should have our two variables. So now we're just going to create a simple if statement. So we're going to say if input user equals let's do Hirsh and I've already explained all this code in my previous tutorial. Whoops, this should be input pass, not with 3 S's. And input pass equals 1, 2, 3. And do this. Else do this. Okay. So let's just test this by doing echo welcome. Welcome. Semicolon. And let's just do echo. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I cannot type. I mean, not usually I can type, but I am incredibly tired right now. So not welcome, and let's just do Hirsh, 1, 2, 3, welcome. Okay, so now that we've verified this login form is working, so now we're going to get into some of the stuff that I didn't actually cover in the last tutorial. So this is more new stuff. So we're going to create a new page, and we're going to save it as home.html. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to have it so that if you type it incorrectly here, then it will redirect you to this home page. So basically what we need to do is we need to type in header, oh my god, open, and then location, colon, home.html. And okay, so that should I'm just thinking about it, yeah, that should bring us to the right thing. And then also what we can do is we can have this redirect us to a failed login page. So we'll do that in a minute, but let's just test this first. So we type in 1, 2, 3 and it brings us to home.html, or we type in something else and it says not welcome. So let's create a new file and let's name it failed login. Actually no, let's just type in failed because I don't want to make it 2 words. Oh my gosh. Fail dot now let's make it a PHP file. So, and I'm just going to show you, you can actually just use HTML in a PHP file. And my recommendation would be that you should, well, oh my god. Okay, so I'm going to go into more detail, but you could actually have created these all as PHP files. But for now, we're just going to keep it simple and use HTML files. So on fail.php, we're just going to set an h2, and basically that just sets the font size to pretty large, and we're just going to say failed login, and we're going to create a new form, action equals index.html, and let's just create an input here. So input type equals submit value equals try again. Okay, so basically, as I hope you realize, you don't need a semicolon in HTML. So as you can see, also I know I said this, but basically we've put this all into a PHP file, but as long as you add these HTML tags, it'll work fine. So yeah, and as you can probably figure out by now, basically we've just created a form, and it'll give you a back button, and it's also just going to say failed login. So let's just try that. Oh, we didn't put in the redirect. Let's just go back to connect, and we need to do header open and fail location : fail.php, and make sure you put in semicolon and failed login. Try again. Okay, so that's pretty good looking. And actually, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to change the design. So what you can do is you can kind of hold on, it's not. So let's just go into our CXM htdocs tutorial. That's where I saved it. I don't know where you guys saved it. And let's I meant to delete. Let's delete this home file. Okay, and let's actually create a new home.php. So let's save this as home.php right here. Okay, so basically the reason I did that is because whenever you save something as a PHP file, it allows you to run both HTML and PHP scripts in the file, whereas if you save it as an HTML file, I'm pretty sure you can't run PHP script. I know it's better to do it as HTML, just from experience. I mean, it's better to do it as a PHP usually. Just from experience, I can tell you, it'll make it easier usually. So, I'm not quite sure what we want to do with this, but for now, let's just put in a simple, let's put in title, and, log. Actually, no, let's just say, welcome to the application. And I guess you could, well, never mind. I know I keep starting these thoughts and then I don't finish them because I'm not sure if they're good. But, okay. We need to make this H3. And let's just say welcome. Okay. So basically we now have a very simple navigation site. So, not a navigation site, just a simple, oh right, we didn't change this. So on connect, we need to change this from home.html to home.php. And now we sign in, 1, 2, 3, log in, and here we go. So welcome. And let's actually just use a div to align this in the center. Let's type in div align equals center. And let's close the div here. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I cannot type today. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Now, another thing that you might want to do is set a wallpaper, or like a background for your website. So what I'm going to do to show you this is I've just got a picture here, trying to figure out, okay, this one's higher resolution. So we're just going to put that in, and we're going to type, we're going to rename it to BG. Now, note that I'm using a JPEG image, so the extension's JPG. If you're using a PNG or something, it'll obviously be PNG. So just remember that. If it's not working, that could potentially be why. And then basically what you want to do is, oh my gosh. Okay, I'm trying to remember now. It's, okay, let me just, okay, I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna look at some of my code quickly, just because I truthfully, okay, I remember. Body, so basically you just set body, background, ground equals, and then we're just gonna set it to this, so, not that, this one. So I named it bg.jpg, so let's do just, bg.jpg. Okay, and let's just close that, and let's just check to see if this works. So I set it to home.php, and there we go. We now have a background image. So as you can see, it's a little bit large. That would be a reason why I probably should have used the smaller. Oh shoot, okay, that's something you don't want to do. You should probably copy it, but I'm just gonna rename this one. Okay, So I'm just changing that to a slightly smaller. Wow. Oh, okay. And as you can see, it's now tiling it. So for this, we're gonna have to format it. So for now, I'm just actually going to stick with. Oh my gosh. Okay. No, this is BG small. So I'm just gonna put back in this larger image, and we'll just use that for now, since I think that looked better. Yeah, that's fine. But as you can see, we've now got a pretty nice looking site here, and yeah. So one thing you might want to do is create a logout button. So we're just going to type, let's create a new form, action equals, and we're going to set it to index.html, and let's just close the form. Okay, and then we're just going to create a new input, type equals submit value, value equals log out. And let's just close that. And I'm actually going to create a new div, and I think we'll just align this on the right hand side. And you'll see why a little bit later, but yeah. So when we open this back up, whoa, oh, I didn't, wow. 1 second, and equals right. So I'm just doing that. Whoa, okay. Wow, I just found out something. Okay, that is interesting. If you do control question mark in Sublime Text 2, it comments out the section. That is so useful. Oh my gosh. Can't believe I didn't know that. Wow, okay. Sorry, I got distracted there, but that is... So yeah, remember that, because I'm going to use that a ton. Maybe not in tutorials. Okay, anyway, getting back to this. So we've now got a simple logout button, and so we've now got a pretty nice looking site actually, and I think we should probably align this in the center. And as you can see, the great thing about divs is it makes it really easy to change stuff, and when you change that, it's just going to change everything in the center. And we can also just create a simple heading, and let's just type in login. So that looks pretty good. Now, if you want to make it sort of in the center, one thing you can do is just add a bunch of break lines. I know that there's a way to actually put it in the center, but this is kind of the way I do it, because I don't know, I just don't really remember how to put it in the center. I might cover that in a different tutorial. So we now have a pretty functional site, and as you can see, if this were all you wanted in your site as a basic site, you could pretty much just start putting stuff in here. So like in the home.php file, we could just start typing. You should always create a new div for text, just because it'll make it a lot easier for you to format it. Let's just align it to center, might as well. And so let's just type in hello world. This is a test of my new website. And let's just take a look. So as you can see, everything works pretty well. And it looks nice and everything. And also, say you used a really dark background, what you can do is you can just set font color equals white, if that'll help you. And actually, I mean, you can put in anything there, assuming it's a color. So we could put in red and work. So that's kind of a good way, just in case, depending on what background you use. I'm just gonna leave it at black, or black, whatever. Yeah, because that works best with this website. But so yeah, we now have a pretty functional website. In the next tutorial, I'll be covering how to make this a little bit more functional, and potentially how to connect this to a database. That's a little bit more advanced, so that might be a little bit later, but we will see. So anyway, thank you very much for watching this tutorial. My name is Hirsh Agarwal, and I'll see you in my next video.